This is Queued Up, where we amplify the voices of educators with the science, soul, and story shaping education. This is Queued Up, and today we are here with Dr. Lynn Boscardin, and she began her career as a speech pathologist, but she's gone on to do many other things, and we are excited to learn from you. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you.
You are welcome. So let's talk about speech pathology. That's the way you started out.
Yes.
And what drew you to that field?
What drew me to that field was I went to the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana, and it was a science-based program. It was called Speech and Hearing Science.
Yes.
So it was really the science portion that drew me to the field because I found that so interesting, and I felt if we understood the science better, we could probably be more effective with the students we work with who have communication issues.
Yes, and that actually leads right into the second part of what I was going to ask. So at some point in your career, you pivoted towards not just looking at how the learner learns language and that, but how to lead others that are doing that. Was there a pivotal moment in your career that made that shift?
That pivotal moment occurred. I had worked in Milwaukee for a while, Wisconsin, and then I returned to Champaign-Urbana, and I was working for the Urbana Public Schools. And there were two really stellar administrators that I was working for at the time, the director of special ed and the business manager. Both happened to be, they would answer any question I had. They were very helpful. They were great mentors, and I learned a lot from them. But in that learning process, a lot of questions came up about leadership. And we had one of the top leadership programs in the country sitting at the University of Illinois, and I was fortunate enough to be admitted to educational policy organization leadership.
Yeah.
And it went from there. And then I focused on, they also allowed me to focus on special ed administration, which was a new and budding field.
Well, and actually we're celebrating the 50th year of the Public Law 94, 1 and 42. And so I've been able to interview a few people over the last couple of days. And by the time I got in school, it was already established. So I love hearing that. I mean, that's frontiering new areas when you think about special education and doing that. So how has it changed from when you first started in that area to now?
The way it's changed, I started, I hate to say this, before Public Law 94, 142.
Yeah.
I would like to say I'm the same age as Public Law 94, 142, but I'm not.
That's okay. We don't have to tell anybody.
No, we won't. We'll keep that a secret, right?
Just between you and me.
I really did get to see the field evolve from its origin into what it is today. The most wonderful thing that's happened is all the evidence-based practices that have been developed that weren't there when I started the field. And that's where the science came in because you really had to know linguistics. You had to understand phonology, what I was doing, the speech and language portion, and then you built your lesson plans based on that knowledge base. But the curriculum materials weren't there.
Not at all.
And then when I went into leadership, it was the thing that I was most interested in was due process hearings. But there were so few of them at that time. Okay. And so to really study due process hearings, which there's so many right now, unfortunately. But that was... And it was a different process at that time. And I wish we could kind of go back to that process because there was a lot more communication, a lot more working together.
I was going to say more a solution-based process. Okay.
The individuals involved were more interested in mediation and negotiation.
They wanted resolution.
Yes, definitely wanted, and that was always the goal. So it was a different type of focus. So that really fascinated me, and I think and the administrators actually welcomed due process at that time because they used it to help encourage the school districts, superintendents, and the school boards to do what they needed to do to develop programs for students with disabilities. And that's where the parent advocacy was so vital and so important.
Yes.
And I would love to see the parents come out of the woodwork right now
Yeah.
and stand on those capitalist steps and really advocate. And that was the other thing, that the special ed directors at the time were real advocates for the field. And people were welcoming. They wanted them, and they said, you're going to help us resolve
Yes.
all of the issues we're having with these children who are having learning difficulties. And so that was exciting. It was an exciting time where I think the field has shifted a little, unfortunately, into making the leader into more of a gatekeeper
Yeah.
rather than how can we be innovative and create different programs? How can we do things differently than what
Yeah.
we're doing now? Because we don't need to keep doing the same things.
Things evolve. And I
Yeah.
think that we are very compliance driven now. And it's not necessarily that we're building an IEP for a student that fits that person's needs. It's that we're making sure we've clicked all the boxes, and we get a little too cookie cutter sometimes.
Sometimes. I would say we're the Office of Special Ed Programs in the Department of Education that's been so consequential to how the field has evolved. About 10 years ago, maybe a little more than that, they shifted out of compliance to results-driven
Yes.
accountability. So they were really focusing on learning outcomes
Yeah.
and less on compliance. Unfortunately, things have gone backwards, and we're
Yeah.
back into a compliance some people are back into
Yeah.
a compliance mindset. I think there's some states that will never go back that way and
That
remain.
pendulum, we
It is.
way over here and we swing way over here. It's
Yeah.
like, let's land somewhere in the middle.
Yes.
All of these things are good, but in the middle is balanced. Yeah.
Yes, you want to be in compliance.
Yeah,
And
for
if you-
sure.
And if you have good policies that support compliance, we don't have to focus on it, right?
Yes.
And then you can focus on instructional interventions and providing the programs that you need.
yeah.
Before we continue, this episode is sponsored by Q360 Workforce Solutions. If you're a leader listening, you already know the problem. Q360 helps districts get ahead of the staffing and support gaps. This isn't about looking good on paper, it's about keeping schools steady. All right, back to the conversation.
I kind of skipped over this at the beginning, but can you tell me some of the leadership roles that you've had in your career?
Oh, my.
Just pick your top 3.
Oh, I would say, first of all, one of my top experiences has been with the Council of Administrators of Special Education.
It's a great organization.
I'm one of the past presidents of that organization, which has been a terrific experience. I've been the editor of the journal for over 20 years now it's called the Journal of Special Education Leadership,
Yes.
sponsored by CASE. And then I was also president of the International Council of Exceptional Children,
Okay.
as well as a board member.
The international. Did you did they hold conferences, and did you get to go to other countries?
No, we're pretty much bound
Yeah.
domestically, but a lot of people from other countries come here for
Yes. So, which of those leadership roles do you feel like shaped you the most in your career?
I don't think it's any one role per se, as it's a compilation of leadership experiences because you learn a lot
Yes.
from each role. The other thing I should mention, I was department chair of a 20-person department at the University of Massachusetts Amherst,
Yes.
and I am a faculty member still. And you learn what it takes
yeah.
to lead, but you also learn what supports are needed to support a leader, because you can't it takes a team, right?
Absolutely.
And if you don't have the support, so I call it 360 degrees of support
Yes.
around you as a leader, your board needs to support you. You need to have good leadership structure supporting you. The staff need to be supportive, and you need to support them too. It's a
Yes.
two-way street. it doesn't go
Yeah.
just one way, then opportunities for leadership success just amplify and
Yeah.
increase.
So what are you most proud of in those leadership roles that you've done?
The people I've helped.
Yeah.
If I can help somebody move forward with their career or with a project or something, that's the thing that I'm proudest of.
Yeah. And it's shown throughout your career, because starting as a speech pathologist, you were in it to help people communicate, help them be able to get their wants and needs met.
Right.
And then that just carried on through your leadership style and the way that you continue. I mean, how many years have you been a part of CASE?
I was counting that up the other day. Close to 25 years. I'm going to be closing probably in more than 30 years.
Okay.
4 years, yeah.
So, I mean, that is a long history of developing leaders and helping people grow in their career. What advice do you give to a new leader that's just starting out in special education?
My advice to them would be to listen to
Yes.
others and listen deeply and carefully. To connect with as many people as possible and to connect people.
Yes.
That
Which
would
should be easier now, because we have so many ways
That's
to
right.
connect, and, virtually we can stay connected all across the world.
I would say to try and say yes before you say no. And
Okay.
then, but it might have to be a qualified yes,
Yes.
just to keep people thinking, to encourage innovation.
I had somebody who gave me some really good parental advice one time. It's not always welcome, but this time she said, say yes often enough that your no means something.
That's actually good advice.
Yes. And that's what I thought of when you said that, because
Yeah.
when you say yes, you're reinforcing that, being innovative and keeping people moving, so that when you have to say no, they can understand the stop and why.
Right.
Yeah.
And I always think if you are saying no to a child, don't say no. Give them two choices.
Yes.
One that's more attractive than the other.
I got really good at those skills when I was in the classroom.
Yeah.
You can sit here or you can sit here. But running around the room is not one of the choices.
That's right.
So as an editor on the Journal of Special Education Leadership, you sit at the junction of research and practice. And when you review manuscripts, what gap do you most often see between the researcher's study and what administrators actually need?
I can't say it's so much a gap as encouraging authors to take real advantage of the audience that they're addressing and to give them both the science behind the research and the data that they might be able to use in their own, when they're meeting with a school committee
Yes.
or parents or their own staff, but also to, really provide those good recommendations for both the practitioners and the policymakers.
Yeah.
Some of the things that have been written in the journal have shown up in federal and state policy.
Okay.
So those articles are really important. You have to be able to address multiple audiences.
Yeah.
And when I've been fortunate enough to interact with researchers, we discuss that, how your research isn't just meant to reside in a journal.
Right. It's
How
to be
can you
lived out, come
lived
to
out,
life. Yeah.
right. And think about how you can change your language. So different audiences can hear your message.
Yes.
And I think one of the things I am really proud of, when I was president of CEC, I was fortunate enough to collaborate with the National Center for Special Ed Research. And Dr. Joan McLaughlin was the director at that time. And I said, we have an opportunity here. You're doing the research grants.
Yeah.
We're doing the dissemination. Let's take one of your research grants and have your researcher will help translate that research into something for practitioners. And what we did is we took a middle school math study and we translated it, changed the language, but made it very accessible, usable to special educators. And typically we'd have 60 or 70 people show up for a webinar. We had over 500.
Oh, wow.
So our metrics were really good. Yeah, that's really good proof, and it needed to be done. And it was really great. So we just kept picking topics and kept going because she needed to disseminate.
Yes.
We needed good, solid, evidence-based material to share and create as a resource.
And it takes all of us.
It does.
I mean,
it takes a village.
You're talking about the person who had done the study first, and then you guys making it applicable with the teamwork. And then I'm on the receiving end. I was a teacher. And so as you were talking about being, editing and different those things, I was thinking, I'm glad somebody enjoys that, because I want the layman terms at the end that says do this and this is why. So that's what you were talking about, I think, is seeing it lived out.
And I've gone to talks given by Nobel laureates. After one was on physics. And I went up to the laureate after his presentation, and I said, this was so clear. And I know there's miles and miles of equations behind this. How did you make it accessible to this diverse audience?
I love that question.
And he said the Laureate Society works with us because they want us out there reaching as many people as possible.
I love that. I think when I talk to educators, and I get the opportunity to talk to them across the nation, they all want to do well. They just don't all know what to do well. Right. And I feel like if we give them the playbook, we give them that applicable piece, people will take off. But when we don't know what to do, it's a little intimidating.
It is. And this is why, podcasts such as yours, Queued Up, is so important, because it reaches an entirely different audience and multiple audiences.
Yes.
And we can also get information out that way.
Yes. And what I love about what we're doing is that it's amplifying the voices of educators, but we get to be all over the country. Everybody can see it. People internationally can see it. And it also crosses generations, because I've had the opportunity to be talking to people that have been in the field for a long time, and there's so much value and wisdom in those conversations. And so I love that I'm getting to sit down with you, and then this conversation gets to be shared across so many platforms that people have access.
Absolutely. And it's even like coming to conferences like the Case Fall Conference. I've run into so many colleagues, and I know they're running into other colleagues, and just the exchange of information that goes on in those forums. That's kind of the heart of the field. That's what gives you the energy to go back,
to keep going
and do what you do at home. But then you come here, you share, you go, we're doing similar things. How can we collaborate, work together, move the field forward?
I love that. And, it's kind of funny because currently I'm involved in many social media groups on Facebook of different people in special education. And I'm drawn to those conversations because at the beginning of my career, I was an island on my own. I didn't have other SPED teachers around. It was just me. So I'm really drawn to that interconnectedness, even when I don't know the person. So what you're saying is so true, to be able to connect across and come to events like this and just get the wisdom from those who've paved the way. And you are definitely somebody who has paved the way. I mean, I
about that.
When I was getting ready, I was like, oh my goodness, the accomplishments are like.
It's a career. It's a lifetime of passion. And, you really want people to do things that they're passionate.
Yes.
And that's what carries you through a career and allows for this type of portfolio and activity. But it's like when you're raising your kids, at home, your mom, your dad, whatever, and you just have to continually remind them that none of this happens overnight.
Yeah, it's a shaping process. Yeah, I love that. I appreciate so much you hopping on today with us and being willing to share that knowledge base and wanting that. And I love that because it's the passion behind what we do in special education. And do you have any website or anything that people can find your work? Or should they just go to the top, to the journals and be like, there she is?
They can always contact me. And my email address is inside the journal. I've had individuals contact me over the years. I do respond to the emails. It doesn't go into some
It is you.
or trash folder, right?
Yeah.
So it's me. And always happy to help those that contact me.
Yeah.
And a case is always happy to help out too.
Yes.
So that's another resource, and I would always encourage them to go to it's casecec.org website.
Yes.
And the journals do reside on that website, as do just several other really incredibly helpful materials that could help people
Yeah.
in their jobs.
It's definitely made it easier having access to the internet and the web pages to get those resources. So I appreciate that our field is continuing to pour into resources because we definitely need them. The classrooms, we need everything we can get right now.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining us today, and I appreciate your time. And
Thank you for the opportunity to talk with you. this morning.
absolutely, this has been enriching. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Queued Up. Follow and subscribe to stay queued up for what's next.